What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerdvengers Tower. I just saw The Batman, the Matt Reeves The Batman starring Robert Pattinson. I want to give you my raw reaction here. I'm going to go into spoilers, so if you haven't seen it and you care about the integrity of all these crazy plot points and you don't want any spoilers, get on out of here. Before we dive full on into it, I do want to say just a little bit about the narrative surrounding sort of my take on this film. Many of you guys already know this, but I've been kind of memeing on the Batman for a long time. I did have some initial concerns with some early things said from Matt Reeves and just some things that I was hearing about the movie. Ultimately, I think my biggest concern was just that it was going to be really like sort of postmodern and try to deconstruct Batman and just kind of do another version of something we've seen many times before. I want to do other things with the Batman character. I'm more interested in like him with the Justice League, him doing crazy things with, you know, lantern rings and standing up to gods and some of the crazy stuff that I love from the comic books. Having said that, late into the game with this one, I did find myself getting excited. Like, I had to kind of keep the memes going, so I kept trying to clown on the Batman at every chance I got, but it was all in good fun, just because of that thing that had kind of been created. But ultimately, I did get excited for the movie. We went out before the film. I got some Batman stuff. I got some cool merch, which I will be giving away on tomorrow's live stream. So, you know, if you like this review or you hate this review and you want to tell me how wrong I am, come on by the live streaming channel tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to break this down, talk about it as a community, and I'm going to give away some cool Batman shirts, okay? I got excited for the film. I was sitting there and I had this vision, man, of maybe the movie would be the best Batman movie ever. Maybe the film would captivate me and grab me and I would be like, dang, like this is so damn cool that this is the Batman for me now. This is what I want to see. And I didn't get that with this movie. Now, I want to say from the top that I like this film. I don't love this film, but I like this film. And I definitely don't think it's the best Batman movie ever, but it is a very good Batman film. And so I kind of want to start there. And I'm going to talk about some of the positives. And then later in the video, I'm going to talk about some of the negatives. But this happens every time I talk about some of the negatives. I get so focused and interested in some of the things that I don't like that I put a lot of passion into that communication. And I think people mistake that for me, like, kind of crapping on the film. Like, I've literally given films like really high scores and said that I like them, and people come out thinking that I actually didn't like them. They're like, bro, I watched that review, you didn't like that, you talked mad shit on it the whole fucking time. The Batman is a good film, and Batman fans have a lot to love in this movie, and I think just by and large, most people are really gonna like this film. I think for me, some of the strongest elements are those detective elements. You've heard everybody talk about this. They are really cool. Batman notices things that the police do not. He can decipher these riddles pretty easily. He can see clues that they cannot. He's constantly kind of putting things together. It's really cool. I love the tech that he uses as well, the different lightings, the little things in his eyes that allow him to see and scan and do all this facial recognition. It's really cool. So that element of the film is awesome. The gadgets the Batman has are freaking sweet in this movie. I love the Venom thing that he injects himself with, and he gets that crazy strength. There's probably some tie-in to Bane there, which is really cool. I like that element. The grappling stuff was sweet. I even like the squirrel suit. It's a really kind of interesting, more realistic take of, you know, when the bat suit wings just go out and allow Batman to kind of fly and or glide, right? So there's a lot of cool stuff with the tech in the film as well. Gotham City is my favorite character in this movie, and I do consider Gotham City to be a character. I think in this movie, it's one of the best versions of Gotham I've ever seen in live action, and it feels super akin to what you get in the comic books. It's got crazy fun architecture, harsh angles. Much of Gotham feels like people literally living in this under area to the wealthy people in the big buildings and stuff like that. It feels very Gotham to me. The politics, the corrupt police, the mobs, all of that stuff feels very Gotham City, so I liked all of that stuff. Strangely, the best part of the movie to me is the way that it ends. It sets up for an incredible sequel with a no man's land type thing going on in Gotham City. I loved that event back in the day from actual DC Comics, and seeing something like that done in live action would be really cool. You also, of course, get the Barry Keoghan or Kogan tease of Joker. His Joker is going to probably be something heavily, done in the next film. That's very, very cool. Where the character of Batman arrives at the end of the film is really interesting as well. He has done all of this vengeance, darkness, just trying to strike fear kind of a thing. But at the end of the movie, he realizes when the villain says that he is vengeance back to him, that's probably not the way, that he needs to inspire hope along with inspiring fear to the villains. This is an important character moment for Batman, and it makes me excited because it feels like the next version of this Batman that we will see will be even more like the comic book version, and I'm all for that. But having said that, there's some things I didn't like about the movie, and some things that have me sort of scratching my head as I look out on the internet. I see people just loving all of these different elements of the movie. Like, frankly, I think this film is actually hyper stylized, over stylized in a lot of different ways. There's almost no moments in the movie that don't have some weird ambient thing or some creepy music going on. It actually left me feeling like a little bit more like it was a video game than actually a film. It's so stylized to try to bring you into a certain feeling with each scene, and it's really tense, right? It's like a tense thing that Reeves is building, and it is cool, but it kind of just left me feeling like the film was sort of small in scope. Like in a lot of other Batman things, you see Batman doing all sorts of crazy things all around the world. His resources are almost limitless, and he can do a lot. And in this film, it just frankly feels like he just keeps looking for clues in the same kind of vibe that you would get in a video game, just over and over again. And as great as Paul Dano is as the Riddler, I'm super underwhelmed with the Riddler as a villain. First of all, the mystery around his clues and everything is not really intriguing at all. It's just a simple case of corruption in Gotham City that leads to the Waynes, but doesn't actually make Thomas Wayne a bad guy. Again, it's like they can't quite go there with it. It left me kind of feeling unsatisfied, and the way the scenes play out feel so dang similar. It feels like he keeps doing the same thing over and over again, finding a dead body with some clues, finding a bad guy who won't turn on him. Like it feels very linear, and as stylized as the detective elements are, they don't ring and cause this like insatiable curiosity. I didn't find myself trying to figure it out. I knew what it was almost immediately, and it's not interesting to watch the characters go through beats that you see coming from a mile away. I'm doing that thing, though, where I'm getting passionate about the things I don't like, and everyone's like, he's shitting on it, he's shitting on the movie, he's shitting on the movie. And I think the thing that I disliked the most was sort of the payoff for Riddler at the very end, when you realize that he's something of a fringe YouTuber or Twitch streamer with like 500 followers, that he's radicalized. I was just like, wow, big eye roll on that. And there's a lot of different things that happen in the film that have that kind of a vibe. To me, the movie continuously feels like it has one foot in the fantasy dope world of Batman comic books, and then it's trying to take those elements and shove them into an absolutely real world place. But it never really finds a actual balanced footing there. And it's like some things feel hyper realistic, like they're trying to make a point or it could literally be happening right now in the world, and other things are incredibly fantastical and feel more comic booky. So to me, that payoff with Riddler, I was like, bro, what? He's literally just some orphan dude mad at the system. And I'm ultimately kind of left thinking this was a cool Batman movie, but it's not different enough or really just intriguing enough to make me think this should be the Batman that we go with from here. I mean, Keaton Batman is literally coming back. You have the Flash movie coming out later this year with multiple Batman in that film. And in a world where you have all of that and you have all of these different possibilities, I just don't know if you need another version of coming of age Batman doing dark, gritty things and Gotham's people being corrupt and being taken out by Batman villains. It feels like something we've seen a couple of times before. But again, it's a good movie. There's a lot to love here. I feel like the sound design is awesome. The action's really, really cool. So there's a lot to love, and Batman fans around the world are probably absolutely going to love it. But that's kind of my thoughts on why I liked it and didn't love it. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section of this video, or come on by the live streaming channel tomorrow. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.